1. Which of the following best describes the principle of andragogy in adult learning as applied in staff training within a park and recreation department? A. Adults learn best through repetition and memorization. B. Adults prefer learning experiences that are problem-centered and relevant to their work. C. Adults require continuous supervision to stay motivated. D. Adults should not be involved in setting learning objectives. 2. When developing an evaluation plan for a recreation program, what is the first step to ensure validity and alignment with organizational goals? A. Selecting appropriate data collection tools. B. Defining clear, measurable outcomes. C. Identifying available budget for evaluation. D. Training evaluators in data analysis. 3. A recreation supervisor uses formative evaluation during a youth sports program. What is the main purpose of this type of evaluation? A. Assessing the final outcomes of the program. B. Providing ongoing feedback to improve implementation. C. Comparing participant satisfaction rates across districts. D. Documenting compliance with federal regulations. 4. In curriculum development for a leadership training course, the sequencing of content should primarily be based on A. Budget limitations and available staff. B. Logical progression from simple to complex concepts. C. Availability of instructional technology. D. Supervisor preferences. 5. An effective adult learning environment in recreation education promotes A. Passive information delivery and minimal interaction. B. Competition among participants to enhance motivation. C. Collaboration, self-direction, and practical problem solving. D. Strict adherence to predetermined teaching schedules. 6. A CPRP professional mentors a new employee by using reflective questioning. This technique primarily supports A. Compliance with performance standards. B. Critical thinking and self-awareness in learning. C. Faster task completion and efficiency. D. Standardization of communication patterns. 7. Which communication strategy is most effective for resolving conflict between recreation staff members? A. Avoiding the issue until emotions subside. B. Using active listening and focusing on interests rather than positions. C. Reassigning one of the staff to a different unit. D. Having a third party make a unilateral decision. 8. When a city recreation department develops a curriculum for inclusive programming, it must first ensure compliance with A. Local zoning ordinances. B. Americans with Disabilities Act ADA requirements. C. Department of Labor wage regulations. D. OSHA safety training mandates. 9. Which type of evaluation focuses on the long-term effects of a recreation program on community health outcomes? A. Process evaluation. B. Impact evaluation. C. Input evaluation. D. Formative evaluation. 10. In mentoring, establishing a development plan serves primarily to A. Ensure compliance with department hierarchy. B. Track budget expenditures. C. Align the mentee's growth with specific performance goals. D. Replace formal performance evaluations. 11. The most appropriate assessment tool to measure participant satisfaction immediately after a recreation event is A. Focus group interviews. B. Pre-program survey. C. Post-event questionnaire. D. Longitudinal tracking. 12. An adult learner in a recreation training workshop resists participation. The facilitator should first A. Enforce stricter attendance requirements. B. Explore the learner's motivations and barriers. C. Proceed with the session without addressing resistance. D. Reduce the session duration. 13. To ensure fairness and validity in a program evaluation, a CPRP professional should A. Rely only on quantitative data. B. Involve multiple stakeholders in defining success criteria. C. Use only previously successful evaluation models. D. Focus solely on participant feedback. 14. In curriculum design, a needs assessment primarily helps to A. Determine which instructor will lead the program. B. Identify gaps between current and desired competencies. C. Evaluate the program after delivery. D. Establish the course budget. 15. What is the most effective way to communicate safety policies to seasonal staff? A. Sending lengthy emails before the first day. B. Conducting interactive orientation sessions with real-life scenarios. C. Posting policy manuals in common areas. D. Including all policies in the employee contract. 16. The principle of self-directed learning emphasizes that adult learners A. Prefer instructor-led methods over independent tasks. B. Take responsibility for identifying their own learning needs and strategies. C. Require constant reinforcement from mentors. D. Should be evaluated only by written exams. 17. A park and recreation agency wants to ensure equity in hiring practices. Which federal regulation governs this process? A. Title VII of the Civil Rights Act. B. ADA Title II. C. OSHA 1910 Standards. D. NEPA. 18. When mentoring new staff, providing constructive feedback should be A. General to avoid discouraging the mentee. B. Specific, timely, and linked to performance behaviors. C. Delayed until formal reviews. D. Focused only on errors. 19. The most effective way to evaluate the impact of leadership training on staff performance is to A. Survey participant satisfaction. B. Measure observable behavioral changes over time. C. Review attendance logs. D. Analyze budget expenditures. 20. In a recreation workshop, using case studies enhances adult learning because it A. Promotes rote memorization of policy manuals. B. Encourages experiential problem solving and application. C. Focuses on instructor control. D. Reduces opportunities for reflection. 21. What is a key indicator of ethical communication within a park and recreation agency? A. Use of persuasive techniques for compliance. B. Transparency, accuracy, and respect in message delivery. C. Restriction of sensitive information from all staff. D. Frequent public relations campaigns. 22. To evaluate the effectiveness of a mentoring program, a CPRP professional should collect data on A. Office attendance rates. B. Employee retention, job satisfaction, and skill development. C. Program costs only. D. Number of mentees assigned. 23. The purpose of a summative evaluation in recreation programming is to A. Monitor progress throughout program delivery. B. Assess overall outcomes after program completion. C. Test pilot activities for improvement. D. Gather informal feedback during sessions. 24. In developing an inclusive recreation curriculum, universal design principles ensure that A. Programs are tailored to only one specific group. B. Activities are adaptable for people of all abilities. C. Staff workload remains minimal. D. Costs are prioritized over accessibility. 25. The best mentoring approach for developing leadership potential in recreation professionals is A. Directive coaching with strict task assignments. B. Collaborative goal setting and guided reflection. C. Assigning independent study modules. D. Avoiding feedback until the mentee gains experience. 26. Which of the following reflects compliance with the Family and Medical Leave Act FMLA? A. Denying leave requests during peak season. B. Providing up to 12 weeks of unpaid job-protected leave. C. Limiting leave to full-time supervisors only. D. Offering paid leave as the only option. 27. A CPRP professional designing a professional development workshop should use which strategy to support adult learners? A. Lectures with minimal interaction. B. Opportunities for peer learning and real-world problem solving. C. Rigid adherence to PowerPoint slides. D. Memorization quizzes at the end. 28. The first step in managing risk compliance in recreation facilities is to A. Train all staff in first aid. B. Conduct a comprehensive risk assessment. C. Post emergency numbers in all rooms. D. Purchase liability insurance. 29. What is a primary goal of performance evaluation in a recreation organization? A. Comparing employees for ranking purposes. B. Supporting continuous improvement and professional growth. C. Documenting disciplinary action. D. Meeting annual HR requirement. 30. When developing a mentorship program, aligning mentor-mentee pairs should consider A. Similarity in personal interests and communication styles. B. Seniority level only. C. Departmental availability. D. Random selection to ensure fairness. 31. A park and recreation agency wants to measure program efficiency. Which indicator is most appropriate? A. Participant satisfaction scores. B. Cost per participant served. C. Instructor popularity ratings. D. Number of promotional materials distributed. 32. What communication method is best suited for delivering policy changes that affect all staff? A. Informal discussion with select employees. B. Official meeting with open Q&A and written follow-up summary. C. Rumor control through supervisors. D. Private one-on-one discussions only. 33. Which adult learning strategy helps ensure that training content transfers effectively to job performance? A. Providing theoretical lectures with no follow-up. B. Using simulations and real-world practice scenarios. C. Reducing training time to save costs. D. Emphasizing memorization of manuals.